Sometimes people don't know what to confess. I could understand. Sometimes people say they don't like to go to confession. I could understand a little bit but once you taste it, like if I talk to some of my friends from New York and I say, did you ever eat masala dosa? And they go, huh? And I remember first time I saw masala dosa, and I looked at it, I said, oh, that looks interesting. Had no idea. But I looked at it, and it looked crispy. There was something on the inside. But when I tasted masala dosa, it became very, very different. We became good friends. Very, very good friends. And then sometimes people say, well, why go to confession? Because I keep sinning, I keep sinning, I keep sinning. And I say, and God keeps loving and keeps loving and keeps loving. Now, it's important to know what to confess. Like, it's important for me to know which wire to put in, and first we put the wires and it wasn't working, and I knew from experience to test and see, and one wire was not pushed all the way in. Boop, very simple. So me and my brother, we were looking and we said, we found it, and boop, we knew, we saw, we understood what it was, and we fixed it. So you have to know, I have to know, we have to know what it is that we need to confess. I said, yeah, but all the time, same thing, same thing, same thing. I said, so what, so what, so what? Because you know what's the same? Is the love, the love, the love. The mercy, the mercy, the mercy. Yeah, but I keep sinning, sinning, sinning. God keeps forgiving, forgiving, forgiving. How long it be like this? Until you leave this world and go to the next one. So if you're not happy now, get happy. Yeah, but my sin makes me sad. True. But doesn't His love and mercy make you happy? I hope you say yes. Right? And if you say, yeah, but I have so many sins, so many sins, so many sins, so big sins, so big. Or you probably, the women are probably, my husband got so many. Stop. Or they might say, oh, my wife, she got so many. Stop. Stop. The wife cannot go to confession for the husband. The husband cannot go to confession for the wife. And it's really bad advice for the woman to say to the man, you'll need to go to confession. And maybe he does. And it's really bad for you brothers to be saying to your wife, say, honey, you need to go to confession. And maybe she does. Not maybe. She does. You do. I do. We do. Case closed. But the beautiful thing about that is that God, who is love, is faithful. And when you taste, even if you're familiar with, so masala dosa all the time, I eat. But then you're going to find, like my adopted Indie grandma, and she makes that homemade dosa and homemade masala dosa. And makes it's like Jesus. When Jesus says, I make all things new. And when I taste, even masala dosa kind of makes me new. And if masala dosa can do that, can you imagine And I don't care how old you are. I don't care how holy you think you are, because if you think you're really holy, you really need to go to confession. And I don't care if you think, I'm such a big sinner. True. What, are you surprised? But bigger than the biggest sin is the love and the mercy. I have a song, I'm not going to sing it now. I'm just going to pray. But I have a song, it's called Adoration. And the lyrics in the first verse are kind of cool. And it goes like this. It says, the more you look, the more you see. The more you see, the deeper you will be in whatever it is you are looking at. The more you look, the more you see. The more you see, the deeper you will be in whatever it is you are looking at. That is why now in digital cyberspace, it's even faster and more frequent, and it's in your pocket, and it then makes impressions on your mind and your soul and your heart more than ever before. Because they want us to look. Because the more we look, the more we see, the deeper we will be, whatever it is we are looking at. Think about that for a second. Because if you're looking at my sin, his sin, her sin, my children's sin, my mother-in-law, my in-law. But the more you look, the more you see, the deeper you will be in whatever it is you're looking at. So just think then, if you and I keep looking at Jesus. And then when you look at him, and then when you feel his eyes looking at you, then everything ugly, because sin is ugly, but then everything ugly he makes new. And when he makes it new, he makes it beautiful. And that's what he wants to do with you and with me all the time. And confession is a big, big, big help. So, I am gonna pray now. Jesus, teach me how to see you, so I can feel you looking at me. Jesus, teach me how to see you, so that you can set my heart and my mind free. When I get stuck looking at my sin, let your mercy come to my rescue. When I resist to let you in, then I know that you will make everything alright. And even when I walk in the darkness, I'll see as if I was in the light. And I know you make a new beginning with me. Oh Jesus, prepare me for confession. Come and set me free. I need you to take more of my heart. Show me all the broken pieces, every part. Memories in the past from the things that I have done. I need the fire to come and burn from the divinity of the sun. Let your rays of mercy shine in me. Let your rays of mercy, Jesus, set me free. 'Cause I wanna follow you more and more each day, for your love to be perfected in spite of the things I say. And all the things that I do wrong, I wanna give them to you, so that I can make a melody and give the glory to you. Oh, Jesus, I need you. Jesus, I want you. Jesus, I love you. Come and set me free. 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 Set me free. Come and set me free. Set me free. Come and set me free. Come and set me free. I put
put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. Would you join me, all right? I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you. I thank you, Lord. I put my trust in you.
That's the best preparation for confession. You put your trust in him. To tell you the truth, I could say bye-bye, thank you very much, make a good confession. But I'm not done yet. But that's all you need. That's all I need. And everything else I'm gonna say is gonna be a different way of saying that same thing. I put my trust in you. Let's get very practical. Oh, I haven't been to confession been a long, long time. You know what priests like to say with things like that? Oh, you big fish. You know, sometimes they say, oh, I had me a 30-pound fish. 30 years. Oh, I had me 10-pound fish. 10 years. 5-pound fish. 5 years. If you say 1 ounce fish, they went to confession last week. I had some people that went to confession. Father, I went to confession yesterday. Okay, you can keep coming back, but something, you know, hold on. I don't know how much you're trusting, I can't make a judgment on your conscience. All I can do is try to help you, right? So we really, really, really want to be very, very careful on the one hand. And on the other hand, we want to be dramatically reckless on the other hand. Now, wait a minute, problem. Very careful on one hand and dramatically reckless on the other hand? How I do that? Let me tell you something I learned from a little Indian lady. She was about that tall. No, maybe that tall. About same height as my mother. Teeny, 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 teeny. My mother was little teeny, teeny Greek lady. This one was Indian. Actually, she was actually Albanian, excuse me. But she spent a lot of time in India, Calcutta, you know who I mean. Yeah, you know who I mean. And her main house is in New York in the South Bronx, right down from where I got, thank you, Jesus, I got to meet Mother Teresa many times. Good Mother Teresa story, by the way. Father Andrew, from our community, who just died recently, may he rest in peace. He used to say Mass, and I was a young seminarian, and the sisters would call us, and they say, brother, can Father come to say Mass, because Mother is in town? So, okay, yeah. And every time Mother Teresa came to town, oh, so many people wanted to come. And Father Andrew was like, oh, I have to go preach in front of this saint. It made him a little kind of nervous, you know. And then everybody, the chapel is packed. There's no chairs, one little stool against the wall in the back, and that's where you know who was going to sit. The saint. And so during the Mass, at the time of the homily, Father Andrew was like, well, and he was funny. He's a really good guy. He'd laugh at his own jokes. you know. And even before he started telling the joke, he started laughing. He was very cool. And so he started laughing and said, yeah, I'm a little nervous today, you know, because we're preaching in front of Mother, but I'll do my best. And then all of a sudden, you hear from the back. I don't know if she was doing it on purpose to make him say, dude, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. Or maybe she just fell asleep. Not because, this was before he started preaching. I think that she was so tired from working so hard, the minute she sat down, she went to sleep. I don't know. She didn't tell me. But I heard the sound. And it's one of my favorite saint stories, you know. So, to set the foundation once again, the greatest preparation for confession is trusting Jesus. And even if you're like, okay, if you're a 50-pound fish, 40-pound fish, 30-pound fish, 10-pound fish, 5-pound fish, 1-pound fish, half a pound fish, 2-ounce fish, 1 kilo fish, I don't know, metric, this system, that. I don't care about the weight of the fish, the weight of the duration since your last confession. But I don't really know what to do with them now. Again, you talk to the kids, you got a phone. A lot of times the kids come to confession with the phone. Father, can I use my phone? I says, it depends. Oh, you can't record it. No. I have all the prayers and I make my note on the phone. I says, go ahead, I don't care. Just make sure you don't have the record button on. I should check with the canon lawyer and say, if the kid wants to come and assures me they shut the recorder off, can they use the phone for the... And he's probably going to say, and my thing would be, like, take the time. If you can type it in the phone, get what's called a pen, and it's a thing called a piece of paper, and write it down. And why don't you get yourself like a notebook? And I don't mean like Windows or Macintosh, Apple, or something else. I mean like a paper and a pen and write it down. I'm old school, but I'm also new school. I use the new and the old. And like Jesus said, every scribe in the kingdom of heaven can reach in his storehouse and take from the old and the new. So I'm a hybrid, but I'm an old school boy. And the best preparation, Padre Pio said that trust is the language of love. And every sin, and in case they, okay, because I could stand up here and I could help you make a brutal examination of conscience, where I might be able to come up with a couple things. Oh, I didn't know that was a sin. And I can do that for like an hour. I'm not going to do that today. I'm really not. But if I was going to do that today, I'd have to do it with the 10 Commandments. And sometimes, especially when you get nervous, and then, you know, you're so, the 10 Commandments, yes, there's 10. You know, well, how about number 5? Jump to 5. 5 and 6, those two you can't forget. 5 and 6, and even 6 rhymes with sex. That's that one. And then there's the other one, number 5. You got to leave them alive. You say, I didn't kill no one. I ain't done kill nobody. Or if you take this 6th commandment and it says, thou shalt not commit adultery, you say, okay, I cool, because I ain't married. You got to be married really to commit adultery, right? You have to have a wife or a husband. That's not what he means. Don't be messing with Jesus, because Jesus says, you look lustfully, you commit the sin. Hello? Hello? Yeah. So, you know, but the 10 Commandments, I mean, the traditional list of them. Look at the first one. I am the Lord your God. You shall not have strange gods before me. We can make idols out of everything. I can make an idol out of masala dosa. What's for breakfast? Cereal. No masala dosa? Oh. Nothing against masala dosa. And it can go from something as simple as that to like bad habits. And this can even go deep into the realm of addiction of all kinds. Addiction to shopping, addiction to complaining. You have addiction to drugs and to alcohol and to bad habits and patterns of behavior that involve your body, that involve your mind. People are addicted to thinking a certain kind of way. You know, like maybe your children are addicted to not putting things back. A gun is a gun and a bullet's a bullet. Yeah, there's silencer on the bullet. Don't make no noise. Just go. Instead of. That's aggression. Silencer on the gun is passive aggression. Baloney. Why? Just because it goes. Same bullet, same force, same infliction of evil. You know what evil is? Cardinal Ratzinger, before he became Pope Benedict, he's a genius. I love that. I love him. I love him. I mean, my greatest love as a son of the church is my great hero, our Saint JP2. He's my hero. I'm absolutely out of my mind. But boy, I be loving B16 Pope Benedict. I be loving that Ratzinger, and I be loving Papa Francesco. Think about it. The Jesuit Pope. That's apocalyptic. Jesuit Pope, never been before. And he come from Central America, uh-oh. And then he takes name Francis, and in Rome, they all think like, oh, we know who he's going to take, Francis Xavier, the great Jesuit missionary. Yeah, no. He said, io Francesco, che Francesco? What Francesco? Which one? He said, Assisi. He said, mamma mia. A Jesuit. He comes from Argentina, with a Bergoglio, with an Italian name. And then he takes the name Francesco. And what's even more amazing, as my friend Archbishop Capuchin Charles Chaput, the first Native American bishop in the United States, I think in the church. He's in Philadelphia now. He says, and he doesn't always agree with everything that the Pope says, but he loves the church. And he says, it's astounding that a man who becomes Pope, and he takes the name of one of the most radical Christians in the history of the church and lives as if he means it. Our best preparation for confession is when we say and when I sing, I put my trust in you, I put my trust in you, Jesus, I put my trust in you. But then if I live as I mean it, I'm telling you, the sins are going to come out. You see those tissue boxes of tissue? You know the one where they're all folded nice. And when you pull one out, the next one's ready to go, right? Did you ever if you put your trust in Jesus, and when you go to confession, even when I'm not sure what I'm going to confess. And by the way, you can always say to the priest, bless me, Father, if I have sinned, I'm 10-pound fish. Excuse me. My last confession was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 hours ago. Doesn't really matter. And you can say, please help me, I'm not sure. And when they say that, I say, okay, that's great. And then part of me is saying like, are you kidding me? I says, been angry lately? And sometimes they try to do like confessional kung fu. Been angry lately? Well, my husband angry all the time. Hey, he's not here. And maybe he is angry all the time. Does that make you angry? Well, that's a deep subject there, sister. Or you might go to confession. You might say, oh, bless me, Father, I don't know what to say. I don't know what my sins. Okay. Because if we get stuck in ourselves, we wound up letting the wounds of non-love. Because that's what sin is. That's not only what sin does. Sin wounds us. But sins are wounds of non-love that need to be healed. So if you confess the same thing, I keep hitting this one. I keep hitting this one. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. My last confession was 3 days ago, and 13 times I keep hitting this one. I want to stop. I try to stop. I try to stay away, and my hand just keeps hitting this thing here. And this, I need help.